Hey, this is Seagrove, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about getting started as a new judge or a new organizer. So, first of all, there are a lot of really um, valuable resources on Pokemon.com, not necessarily for explaining things in terms of getting started, but explaining things that you need to know for being a judge or an organizer. To find them, you can find them quickly by just going to Google and typing in Pokemon rules and resources. And it's just going to be this first link: Play Pokemon rules and resources. And if you scroll down to the bottom, they have judge and organizer resources like sanctioning regulations. That would be for organizers. And they have a little index here. So definitely something very helpful. Tells you about how to report events, maintaining records, stuff like that, which is really cool. And then tournament operations procedures. That's typically also for organizers, but it can be useful for judges as well. Penalty guidelines is paramount for judges. I really suggest once you go to judge your first event, that you take a physical copy of it, even though you could access it on your phone, so you can easily show it as needed to players, so they don't think you're making up penalties. And also, you should read them ahead of time. Penalty summary report is like technically if you do anything above a caution, which is caution and then warning, and then penalties like prize penalties, multi-prize penalty, game loss, match loss, etc. Um, Technically, even a warning, you're supposed to write in Play Pokemon penalty summary report and send them to an email that doesn't seem like it gets checked very often. So technically, that's what you're supposed to do. We'll just say that. Deck checker, and I definitely suggest doing that. Sending in your penalty summary reports, especially for a prize loss. Um, and it's paramount that you do it for anything like a disqualification or anything like that, which probably shouldn't be happening. I mean, I shouldn't say shouldn't be happening, but hopefully you don't get in a situation where you're having to do a disqualification in an early tournament. Um, I haven't had to do one yet, so but yeah. Um, Deck checkers checklist just to help you if you're when you're doing deck checks. Video game team. I don't know anything about that. Clipboard penalty sheet. This is just so you can keep track of infractions and such. Um, League roster, league flyer. These are typically for organizers as well. Apply to host a league. I'll get into that later. League rules and guidance. This is for people who are going to be starting a league, and I've become a league owner sort of almost by accident recently. I didn't have to go through this process because it was sort of handed off to me. But definitely, if you're doing a judge, make sure that you take the penalty guidelines. That's the big thing. So, anyways, how to get into judging and organizing. So, I definitely suggest shadowing a judge or an organizer, whichever one it is that you want to be, um, at an event ahead of time. Like once you've applied, just start, even if you're not actually shadowing them, just start watching them. Like, okay, what are you doing now? Just like ask them if they're willing to show you Tom, the tournament organizing software. Ask them, how do you do this? How do you do that? And then for your first judging event, you can talk to organizers around in your area and just say, hey, I'm a new judge. I was wondering if you could get me to judge your, sanctioned non-premier event or your premier event, but not as the main judge, as a second judge. So like they already are getting someone else. Can I volunteer to help out? And most people would definitely be willing to do that. And then once you're volunteering, you've done that a couple times, then you can actually be a judge you can be the head judge, maybe for a sanctioned non-premier event, and then maybe for a league challenge, and you just move your way up. Um, if you're doing a good job, the organizers around your area, unless your area is sated with judges, will begin to ask you to judge. So, in terms of being an organizer, I really, really, really suggest that you be an organizer with an organizer. So, like, do it at least twice. Once where you're just watching the organizer and the organizers explaining what they're doing, and then another time when you are the official organizer and you have another organizer who knows what they're doing there, and they can walk you through it. So it's definitely about getting someone to take the first steps with you who is more experienced. Um, but these resources here can help you do that, but you need to read them thoroughly and understand them. And also, if you're an organizer, download Tom, and which you can do once you've become an organizer, and that's again the tournament organizing software, and play around with it. And another thing is, once you become a professor, you can get onto the professor forums, which can be found in Pokemon.com under the, I think it's OP Tools dashboard. But yeah, so it's really all about taking baby steps alongside someone who is more experienced. So that's how you should really be getting started. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the different levels of judge and organizer and what they mean. Thanks for watching.